Now, Dr. Weaver, I understand you have something next to you,
Yeah, I do.
and she's in a gold box.
She is.
It is so pretty.
Yes, she
I
is.
don't know if that's blue or black satin in that
It's
box,
black satin. And that's my
but my
girlfriend.
God, let me zoom in on this thing right here.
That's my girlfriend.
Hold on, let me zoom in. My God, do y'all see that thing there? Oh, good Lord. And what does it say on it?
It is telling us this is the 2015, this is the Emmy Awards. It's documentary culture. Let's have church, let's have some church Detroit
Mmm.
style. It's the big red hen films incorporated. Yeah, this is we got it. We got it for our documentary that was produced by Mr. Andrew Sachs,
Wow.
and that was that was an experience. It really was to go through to tape for this documentary because, excuse me, we actually thought it was just for a thesis class that he was going to be teaching. He and his partner,
Mm.
and at Michigan State, and what turned out to be we got a video. I asked him if he would do a video for us, which was running, and he said, sure, but I want to do a recording on you guys. Well, we had no idea that this was going to take 4 years.
Mm.
So he taped us from various places and talked to us individually about our lives. And he wanted to showcase how a gospel group could last during Detroit went through a bad time, and he want everybody to see how a gospel group could last that long. So he did, and so we won the Freep Awards for the city, and then he didn't tell us that it was up for an Emmy, and all I know is that one Saturday he told me he was going to an award ceremony. He says, "Well, I won't tell you about it because I don't want you might not win." So I says, okay. He never said what it was. And he went. And that evening I got home and I took my calls from off of being, on block and what have you. And I saw a picture of him and his wife saying, we couldn't have did this without, and in the rest of the email, you had to open it up to see. And there he stood with this to let us know we have won for our documentary, Let's Have Some Church Detroit Style. And so he took this title, he said, and he named it after, because I says that in the song Running, Let's Have Some Church Detroit Style, and he said that's what he entitled the entitled film. So the Lord blessed us in 2015, and this is what we got. And that night I got presented to it, I almost lost my mind. I really did. I really did.
So, standing on the stage with your family, getting this award,
Mm-hmm.
really, honestly, I think my life would have flashed before my eyes. I feel like I would have heart palpitations. What were you thinking? How did you feel?
Um, Actually, I didn't know what was going on because we were in the middle of a recording session, so we were doing intermission. And so my best friend at that time, Lavelle Nero, he was doing our booking manager for us along with Bessie. And so I knew Mr. Sachs was there, but I thought he was coming to wish for the recording session. And they said, we need you to come. And so they asked my brother to come upstairs on stage, and they asked for Sylvia, my cousin, and then of course my other cousin Renee was in the choir. So they asked her to come down and ask the President Hallelujah singers. And Mr. Sachs came out, and my mind was really, I was hearing Mr. Sachs, but my mind was somewhere else to get ready for the second half of the recording session. And Mr. Sachs pulled this out. I'm like, what is this? And I saw a gift or something he's given us for it's our anniversary, being nice. And when they opened this up and said, this is your, I just grabbed my brother. I just clenched onto him, and he said, hey, don't pull me down to the floor. I remember saying, I said, oh my God. So all I could do was just sit there and say, wow, it was worth it all. It was the 4 years and the talk, sometimes you you want to give up and throw in the towel because you have so many naysayers and haters, and sometimes them saying different things about you makes you feel as though you're not worthy of the gospel music industry. And I've had those moments and still do at times. You know, people don't understand, but then it's things like this where I keep strong, and when I think that the knot is slipping, I grab it and tie another tighter knot. You know what I'm saying? And get a good grip and hold on again. And every time I do it, God blesses me more and more and more. So this was a blessing because so many people don't even have this, you know.
Well, Mr. Andrew Sachs, let's talk about him for 1 second.
Mr. Andrew Sachs was, oh my God, a blessed man. He was a freelance photographer for the Detroit News, and he, at one point, did an article on us some years ago, and they wanted to tape us and do an article and put it in the Detroit News and Free Press. I'm sorry, I think he worked for both. And he took pictures. And one day he says, I want to take some pictures of your choir because they're so exciting and I like the way you move and this, that, and the other. And he took the pictures. And he asked, could he take some more pictures? And we said yes. So he took more pictures of us. And then finally we hooked back up when I was inquiring about doing a video. And this is how we end up with Let's Have Some Church of Detroit style documentary. And that's it. He's just been a great guy. His wife, Miss Ann, is just phenomenal, and she's great. And it was a wonderful, wonderful thing to work with him and his staff. I mean, during the film, they traveled all the way to Birmingham, Alabama, my hometown, because that's where we were up for some awards at an award show. And they traveled there at that award show, and we won several awards, and they did a lot of footage taping to go on to this documentary when we were there at that award show.